Hi and welcome back everyone. So now what we're going to do is populate these three rectangles on the right hand side with charts and cards. So we'll work on our top one first, which will show the total sales in a card, and it will also show a line chart, and we'll split the line chart in two to show a breakdown of rest of world sales and USA sales. So to do that, we'll need to create a grouping with our office country. But first, just let's create a card showing the total sales and the value. So to do that, under visualizations, we'll just tick this middle card button and it will add a card. So I'm just going to resize this to make it a little bit smaller. And while we've clicked onto it, we can just tick our sales value here. So you'll notice that it's not in dollar format. So we can change this in our data view. So we have our sales value here, as you can see, and on the top, similar to Excel, we can just tick dollar. So you can see it's now changed to dollar. So while we're here, we can also do the same with cost of sales. So we'll just click into this field and tick dollar at the top here. So now back in our report view, it's shown now as dollar value. So we'll just remove this heading below, this category label, which shows sum of sales value, by just unticking the on to and turning it to off. And then if we go into general, we can now add a title, and we'll just name this title total sales. Okay, and then we can center this and make it slightly bigger. So horizontal alignment, we can just bring it into the middle. And first I'll just change the text color. I'm going to make it the white 10% darker. Okay, and I won't just do that for the title. I'll do it for the text as well. So our call out value, we'll make it the same color here. And then we want to change the background to match our rectangle. So to do that, just in general and effects, so I still have my notepad open, I want it to be this color. So Control and C, and then just under more colors, we can just paste in our hash code. Okay, now we could drag this over inside our rectangle, and we'll make it a bit smaller, just so we can fit the chart below. So we're going to need to make our text smaller so that it fits in. Okay, so we'll go back to our visual and our call out value, and let's just bring this size much smaller. So 18. Yeah, that should be fine. And we'll see what size our title is. Yeah, 14 should be okay. We'll make it a bit smaller. Okay, so what we can do now is just make a copy of this, Control and C and Control and V, and then we can bring it down to our second rectangle. And instead of showing the sum of sales value, we'll just remove that from fields. And we will count our order number. So if we tick order number, so it's going to sum it, but there's a little arrow drop down beside the field, and we can just change this to be a count. Or we could actually count distinct. That'll be the distinct amount of orders, because if we just left it as count, it's going to include, because the data is broken down by product. If we look again at our data, you can see we have the order number multiple times due to the many products in each order. So let's count the distinct orders. And for this, we'll just need to change the title in our Format Your Visual pane. General, so I'm just going to change the title to Count of Unique Orders. Okay, so I'll just save my dashboard here at the top left. And let's make another copy. Control and C, Control and V, and we'll bring it down to our final rectangle. Okay, and what I would like to display in this card is the average value of each order. So we could divide the total sales by the count of unique orders. But to do that, we're going to need to create a new field. So we can do that in Power BI. Under calculations at the top here, we can click new measure, and you can see a pane opens up at the top here. So we can rename it here. Rather than measure, we'll call it average sales value per order. And that calculation is going to be the sum of the sales value. So you can see it comes up here. We can just tick it, and then we'll close our bracket, and we divide it by the distinct count of the order number. Okay, and then we can just tick to commit, and you can see on the right hand side at the top here, it has shown up as a new field. So we can add this field to our bottom card here. So let's remove the count of order number, and we can tick average sales value. So we're going to need to change this to be a currency as well, so we'll have the dollar. So to do that, because we've calculated it hasn't shown up in our data view, but in our model view it will show up in our table here at the bottom, average sales value. So if we click into it and we expand our properties pane, we can change the format here to be a currency. So now it will be of dollar value, and we'll just need to change our title here as well. So again, let's just do average value of each order as the title. Average value of each order. Okay, so that's our 3 cards created. So again, I'll just save the workbook here, and in the next video we will create our 3 charts that will be displayed below these cards. So I'll see you in the next video.